Hey, how y'all doing out there in video land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, I just want to have another little discussion for today, and it's on my little knives. This is how I keep my little knives. Keep them in a nice little Harbor Freight case I got from Harbor Freight, and that's the way I keep them. As you can see, just about all of them are Demkos. I got a few four Civivis over here. Two of the what you call them, the snack locks, and two of the older ones. That was my first one. And that was my next one. I think this one was called the Conspirator. That was one that I actually liked a lot. When I polished it, it was a Damascus blade that I polished. I like it best without the pocket clip. All right. Next up is my Protex, my Malibus. Never really carry these too much. They're a little bit on the small side, but I like the knives though. They're really high quality. They just feel kind of small for me. A recent one over here is oh yeah, the FM1 people. The Atlas Lock FM1. Titanium handled FM1. Cold steel, Atlas Lock. This is their slim one. And this is probably the nicest slim knife that you could probably get. I like this better than the Benchmade one. I think this is much nicer. It looks better. I think it looks better. I don't know, I just like it better. And the Atlas Lock, is going to be stronger. Anyway, this video is not really about that. What I want to discuss is the new small ones, the new small Demkos compared to the original Demkos, like the 80-20.5. This was my first 80-20.5 right here. I've never changed it. Still has the steel ball bearings in it they originally came with. Only thing I did to it was lube and tune it. But I carried the mess out of this one. This was the knife that turned me onto the Shark Lock, people. It was this knife right here. The little inexpensive 80-20.5 with the Japanese AUS 10A blade. Absolutely love it, people. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. The shark's foot. And these knives are solid, people. This knife is still solid. It's a little bit dirty looking or whatever, used looking, but it's a solid knife. And after that, I got into modifying them. This is a DLC one. I think this is an AUS 10A also. And it has, these are the Demko scales, the natural JG10 scales for the small pivots. This is before they had big pivot knives. I absolutely love these too. This one's, all the rest of them got skiffs in them. All the rest of my Demkos have skiffs. The only one that doesn't have skiffs in it is the first one I got. Then I got the carbon fiber. This is when I was still into the shark's foot blade a lot. Got the carbon fiber. And then I got into I went from getting into the skinny handled ones. Well, let me show you my other skinny handled ones I did for a minute. These are the original goat, aluminum. These are the black finish aluminum scaled, original goat scales with the original goat aluminum backspacer that I polished. And I think this one's a D2. Most of my clip point blades are D2s. No, this was Oz 10 also. Original goat. This is another original goat kit. This one's a D2. Aluminum scales. These are coated, I think it was forest green with the V-groove backspacer. And this was another original goat, titanium scale kit with the jump backspacer. Titanium smooth scales. This is before they had big pivots, people. This is when they just had the AUS-10A blades and the D2 blades. And then I decided to get into the fat scaled knives. Because I tried out one of the Rip's Garage Tech knives. And Rip's Garage Tech, he had the fat scales. And I absolutely fell in love with the fat scales. This was my first, I think this was like my first one. This is Micarta. Because I wanted to try out Micarta when I saw Micarta. I'd always had G10 and aluminum before. And titanium. This is my first Micarta knife. Red Micarta with the red Micarta backspacer. And this is the Oz-10 blade with the DLC finish. Small pivot. And I didn't put pocket clips on most of these because I like the way these felt without the pocket clips. And I used to just carry them freely in my pockets, and usually in my jacket pockets. In the wintertime, I wear jackets. And so whenever you see ones without the pocket clips, it's because not all my knives have pocket clips. I don't put pocket clips on all my knives, people, because some like to carry freely, just like an old school pocket clip in your pocket or in your jacket pocket. And these knives these Rip's Garage Tech scales are perfect for that. They have the perfect amount of thickness to it, where it feels really good in hand. That was the first one. The next one I had to get the clip blade. And this was called a Python pattern, Micarta, from Rip's Garage Tech, with the same matching backspacer. And this was an Oz-10 blade. All these have skiffs. And then let me see what I do after that. Well, I had to get the titanium kit from Rip's Garage Tech. And this is my titanium one without the pocket clip. This is their titanium kit. It's original, this is the titanium kit that they had way back in the day. They might have nicer ones now, people. This is before they had big pivots, and they only had D2 and Oz-10A, what do you call them, 80-20.5s. So this one's pretty old. It's not a new knife. This is a very old knife. All right. And then, I didn't really get too many for a while because I had a lot that I liked. And then, maybe a year or so later, I started, I saw Flytanium. They had a purple G10. And I had to get the purple G10, and this is my purple rain. And I got the Flytanium brass thumb studs and a Flytanium gent brass backspacer with the Flytanium. I think these are the peel ply purple G10 scales. And this one is an Oz-10A with DLC coating clip blade. Skiffs inside, of course. This was one of the ones I built on YouTube, people. All right. Fat scales. Oh yeah, did I mention it was fat scales? That's the reason why I got it, because I saw it was fat scaled, like the Rip's Garage Tech. And then the next one I got, well, what happened next? What happened next with them? Well, did I ever mention that this is one of the first titanium ones I got when they came out the big pivots. I have another one with a clip blade, but I put it in a safe with my other safe queens that are Demko knives. Got two 80-20.5s that are in the safes. The rest of them I use. This is a Demko knife. This is not an aftermarket knife. This is totally stock, except for it's got skiffs inside, of course. All right, but that was a slim one. And then I got into the thicker ones. And the next one up, well, I can't remember which one I did first. So we're just going to start right here. We're going to start with the next purple rain. Next Purple Rain was this one. Oh yeah, it's a slicer. 20 CV slicer. Big pivot. And it's got the Flytanium scales on it. I had them custom modified to big pivot for me. They're located in Utah, USA, so lots of times, you can call them up and tell them what you need, and lots of times they'll help you out because they make all their stuff in Utah. They make these scales in Utah. Absolutely love it. DLC finish. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And this is what they looked like before. I modified it. It has the Ultim scales on it. This one's still waiting on a kit from Original Goat. So it's still a totally stock knife. Same thing with this one. This one's waiting on a kit from Original Goat also. One of them's going to get a titanium kit, and the other one's going to get a a carbon fiber kit. I can't forget what the name they call the carbon fiber. It's the Purple Haze carbon fiber. Oh man, I'm going blank on the kind of carbon fiber you call it, people. It's a really awesome looking carbon fiber. I can say that much. And this is my aluminum one that I did with the Original Goat kit. All these are fat scales. All my new ones are fat scales. I don't do the skinny ones anymore. Ever since I got in the fat ones, I'm all the way into the fat ones. I like the fat ones. I like my knives with a little bit of butter on them. Gotta have some curves. Oh yeah. All right. Absolutely love it. This is probably one of my favorite ones right here. It stays out. It's just in this box right now. You're just seeing it in the slot that it goes in, but normally it stays out. Matter of fact, I'm just going to leave it out because that's where it really belongs. This one that get used. Okay. And next one up, what else we got in here? Well, then after that, I got into the... Oh, no, wait a minute. We already did this one. I'm sorry, people. I got into the... This one. This one I'm looking for. Got into the Cubs. Oh, yeah. This is a G10 Cub. But I also got two of the Ultim Cubs, and those handles cracked up on me, and I replaced them with Original Goat kits. This is the one this is the only one that's left that's stock. And there's a kit coming for this one, too. From Original Goat. It's a new carbon fiber kit. The same, the Purple Haze kit. I forget the name of I think it might be called Bubblegum Carbon Fiber or something. It's some kind of funny name for carbon fiber. But anyway. This is my purple one that I did from Original Goat. And it's so beautiful that I don't even want it to get messed up, so I hardly ever carry it, people. I'm going to be honest. This is probably the least carried one. And this is the one that I carry every day. Y'all know that. This is my everyday knife. Everyday work knife. This is the one that does all the utility work. So that one stays out too. Now we're getting down to the nitty and the gritty. And we're going to talk about what we wanted to talk about in the beginning of this video. But I just had to go through all these knives so you can see where my mindset is, and you can see what I've been through, and you know that I'm not just talking out the side of my head, because I have lots of experience with Demko knives, Demko folders, the Shark Block in particular. And matter of fact, what I got in my pocket, speaking of Demko knives, this is my 8020S. So, that's where I'm at with these. And so, next thing up is one that got licensed. It got licensed. The new kid on the block. And what is that? The arcade. The Flytanium arcade, people. And yes, here it is. DLC coated. Drop point. It's one of my favorite blade shapes for everyday use. Drop point. Absolutely love it. And they blacked out all the hardware and everything. Everything's all blacked out. I like that. As opposed to being like they've always done it before, where Demko knives, they don't black out everything. I'm talking about the shark fin. This is the shark fin, the lock bar, the liners and all that. It's all been blacked out. I think that's super cool for school. And here's a modern one. So you can see what I'm saying. They still do the same thing. They give you all the black, screws and everything, and pocket clip and everything, but they don't black out the shark fin. I always wonder why they did that. But anyway, I had to make this a lefty, buddy, because my left hand just loves this knife. It just loves it. So I had to turn this one into a lefty. Look at that. My left hand just loves this one. I don't know why it fits my left hand maybe better than the standard 80-20.5 that I've been carrying for years. Because my left hand, it loves this one too, but I don't know. It's just this one feels easier. But my left hand loves a little cub though. Loves a little cub. But again, this one feels easier. This one feels easier in the left hand. It almost feels like it has detent or something. Because it feels like the blade just wants to come out. I love it. I love it, people. And it's super lightweight. This only weighs 3.1 ounces. 3.1 ounces. It's the lightest shark lock folder I own. This one weighs 3.8. I think it was 3.8 to 3.7 or something like that with the kit. This is a beautiful knife, and it's full size. This blade is actually longer than the standard 80-20.5. It's 3.25 inches long. What makes it lighter, if you ask me, is that it doesn't have the full stainless steel liners going all the way through it. It just has the partial liners coming across the top. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. See, in this one, you can see the full stainless steel liners going all the way through the knife. I'm talking about the liners underneath the Ultim scales. You can see the liners going all the way through the knife. This one's not made like that. This one just has liners going through coming around here and coming through the top. It doesn't have liners going all the way through the body of the knife. So that's the reason why you got a little bit of flex in the middle. But along here, you got steel all along here, so you don't have any torsional flex or anything like that. It's very stiff. But this one, you don't have any flex anywhere, because you got stainless steel all throughout the knife. But these in this form weigh about, here, I'll weigh it for you real quick. This one, the only modification this one has on it is a titanium backspacer. Without the titanium backspacer, it weighed 3.0 ounces. With the titanium backspacer, it was 3.1. 3.1 ounces. This one is a totally stock knife, except for it's got skiffs inside. That's the only modification that's been done in this knife is skiffs. 3.3 ounces. This weighs a little bit more. Not that much more though, but just a little bit more. Now, between these two knives, I'm gonna set the case out the way, people. Let's pull one more knife out. I'm going to pull one more knife out before I set the case aside. This one. Now the thing about these is that they feel super light and super easy to use and super easy to carry. The stock ones. But I prefer these handles. I prefer the thicker handles. These come with a fairly nice handle already. And I sort of like the way the polymer feels, to tell you the truth, over the way the titanium feels, because it doesn't feel as slippery. And it just has a really nice feel to it. I don't know how to explain it to you, but this knife feels really good in hand. The handle, when you squeeze your hand like this, you feel it flexed a tiny bit in this area right in here. You can feel it flex a tiny bit in that area, but it feels good. So this one with the polymer scales, I would say, is a very nice knife also. And they have all sorts of really awesome colors for their polymer scales. They even have glow-in-the-dark scales. So, you know, it's really cool, you know, all the different modifications you could do with these knives. This one is one that came like this, only didn't have the DLC finish. It had the bright finish, but it had the purple polymer scales. Not polymer, but polycarbonate scales. They're polycarbonate. And I got the titanium scales and modified it with the titanium scales, the titanium back spacer, titanium pocket clip, and titanium thumb stud. Absolutely love it, people. Absolutely love it. Now these knives are a little bit different in the way that the action works, even though that they use the exact same shark fins. The shark fins look exactly the same almost. They look very similar. Very similar. So you could tell that they actually are using Andrew Demko's, you know, parts or whatever. I bet you, you know, all these are made in the exact same factory as a 80-20.5. But one thing I noticed about these that I do like better about these is that these have a little extension. The blade tangs are a little bit longer on the 80-20.5. So it sticks out a little bit further, and they have the stop pin sticking out a little bit further away from the shark fin. And what that allows them to do is put a little indentation right here for your finger to write in. And so when you unlock it, it's more natural. It just feels a lot more natural. It doesn't hurt your fingers either. On this one, they made it closer. I think they were trying to get, you know, a closer handle to blade ratio, and so they made everything a little bit shorter in the handle. And the stop pin sits a little bit closer to the shark fin, so there's no room for that gap right there where you can make that little indentation. And so what you have to do is go from where the blade tang ends or starts right here, and that little area between there and your shark fin. And what I do is I found that I sort of got to like do this kind of motion with my fingers. Like I'm petting something. And then you could just catch it. And that's the way I do that one. But the easy way to do this one is just use your thumb and do a half stop. Like old school, like you do with triad folders. That's the easy way to do it without any kind of pain or anything. Because these fins are very sharp. And so I don't know, it was giving me some pain issues at first until I got used to it, people. But once you get used to it, it's not so bad. Because what you got to do with the shark lock is that you just don't pull it back. You have to be able to lift it up and pull it back. And so I got to do a motion like this. Because once you lift it up, that's when the blade becomes free. I'm trying to show you guys. But if you can't lift it up and you just try to pull it back, that's when you run into issues. Because it wants to be picked up, and there's a lot of travel if you just pull it back. That's one reason why I think this lock is so strong and so safe compared to the other fidgeting locks, people. I think the shark lock is the best lock for a fidgeting lock. Just like the triad lock's the best lock for a heavy duty, folder lock. That's my personal opinion from my personal experiences with all these different locks. The shark lock, to me, is the best fidgeter. Now, this knife in particular, though, the way that they incorporate the shark lock into the knife design is not the best fidgeter. What's the best fidgeter? The one with the best space where you can grab that shark fin. And on the big model, let me show you what the big model looks like. You got a big old giant area right up there where you can grab that. So this area right here is important for the shark for a shark lock. You got to be able to go down and grab it. This one gets a little bit harder because everything's smaller, because the blade stock is thinner and everything else like that. So you have less to grab onto, but they still have a nice big area right here where you still use the same principles that you would use in the other ones. So I think they did an excellent job of making the shark cub too. This one right here, people, you just gotta teach yourself how to do it. It's a little bit different than a regular shark lock. The way that you know you operate the shark fin itself, and it's just something. It's just a new flavor that you gotta get used to, people. But other than that, I really like these. These to me are more like the gentleman's version of the 80-20.5. This feels more like a gentleman's knife to me. It's a very beautifully made knife. I have another one coming in. Yes, I did get the S35VN model. And I think I'm going to put that blade on this one. Because it's a bright blade with a black handle. And the Ultim inlay or whatever. The 6061 aluminum handles. And they're in the black finish with the Ultim inlay. And the S35VN blade. I think I'm going to put the S35VN blade on this one. On my titanium one. And the black one is going to get the aluminum handles. I just think the aluminum might be a little bit nicer. And then I'm going to take this blade and put it back to being a purple one. So I'm going to do a complete swap around. I already got it figured out in my head. I already know what I'm going to do. I'm really digging the arcade, people. I like the arcade. Which one would I get if I had to choose between a stock arcade and well, that's not really a good comparison, huh? Because this is an expensive version. That's the budget version. Let me get a budget version. You got budget versions. Okay. Let me see. Let me put this one away. That'd be a good comparison. Okay. This would be more on the same level. Now, if I had a choice between a small pivot, you know what? That's modified. Now we're talking stock knife. Okay. If I had a choice between a small pivot knife with the polymer scales or the polycarbonate scaled arcade, this has an Oz 10 blade on it, and this one has an Oz 10 blade also. Which would I pick? I'm gonna pick the 80-20.5, the stock one, people. These are just a little bit nicer, and I like the way that they have the steel going all the way through the frame. So it just makes the whole knife, just a little bit sturdier. You know me, people, I like sturdy knives. But I absolutely love this one for my left hand, though. This is one of my favorite left hand knives, and the bright one I'm going to make, I'm going to set it up for a lefty, too. So it's going to be a left hand knife. And this one, in the black, when it gets to black aluminum handle scales, it's going to be a left hand knife also. So the arcades might start being my left-hand knives. The reason why this one's not going to become a left-hand knife because I took off the pocket clip and I noticed that it's got some rub marks right in here. So I don't want to refinish anything or repolish anything because I know the rub marks would be bugging me if I kept seeing them all the time. So I just left this one being a right-hand pocket knife. But it would have became a left-hander too once I found out that my left hand likes it so much. But anyway, people, I really love the arcade. This is my update on the arcade and its comparison with the other Demkos. The other Demkos feel like they're a little bit like a step above the arcade models, if you ask me. I don't know. The Demko knife, the original Demko knife versions, to me, just feel like premium knives, people. And what I base that on is function. I'm not basing it so much on, what kind of scale material that they use or whatever. I'm talking about how durable it is and how long it lasts and how problem free it is. The Demko knives, I've only had one Demko knife that I had to send back to Demko for repairs, and that one's I bought used on eBay, and it's probably something that somebody damaged. And John Demko fixed it for me and sent it back to me perfect condition. It's been perfect ever since. It's been my collection for several years. But absolutely love my Demko knives. I highly recommend the Shark Lock. People always ask me what I think is the best lock. The best fidgeting lock is the Shark Lock, hands down. I don't think there's any other one better. Hands down, Shark Lock. What's the best strength lock? Hands down. Let me see if I got one available. Triad Lock. All right, people. Well, that's about it for today. I hope everybody's having a great day. That's about all I got to share with you today. This one's out because I need to start working on that one. This is my next project. That's the next project. Yes, I'm going to polish it. I'm not going to totally polish it though. I'm thinking about doing I'm not going to do like the flats of the blade. But I am going to do like up here maybe, and along the spine and the lock bar and the back spacer, and do my little tricks to make it a little bit smoother. I'm absolutely digging my frenzy. That's my new frenzy, and it's time for it to get modified. All right, people. Well, anyway, that's it for this video. Arcade rocks, people. Absolutely rocks. Absolutely rocks. And you can do it without hardly any risks on this one too. Because most of them, because they don't really have a really strong detent, you have to use a little bit of wrist. But this one, just get a nice finger flick. It's a beautiful knife. Slides in and out of your pockets real easy. Like I said, this is one that you can wear with slacks. You can use with slacks. It'll work perfectly fine with slacks. It won't tear up your pockets. It won't be the great one on the motorcycle though. You might lose it on your motorcycle. Excellent knife, people. Excellent knife. And my left hand loves this one. Absolutely love them, people. Great knives. Arcade. And yes, I would consider it one of my new additions to my Demko family. I know they're not a full-blooded Demko, but they got Demko genes in them. All right, people. Peace out. Stiletto.